Hello people of YouTube and welcome to the Spikehead podcast for a special little video where I will be talking about and giving a recap of the 91st Academy Awards that took place last night. It finished around 5 AM in the UK last night, so I've had a few hours sleep. Now it's time to recap the show. And this was the first Academy Awards without a host. And it flowed really well. I think it flowed a lot better without a actual host doing all these cringy jokes. It was just award after award after award with some songs cut in between. That, I thought, was a big bit of progress for the show. Now, this is not the podcast for this month. I will be getting a guest to talk about this all in detail. This discussion will just be a general oversight of what won and what I thought was a shock and things like that. So it started off with Queen, led by Adam Lambert, performing on stage. They played We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, and that was a lot of fun. It's always nice to see Queen on stage. And we shot straight away into some awards, with the first one being Best Supporting Actress, won by Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. An okay performance. I didn't think she was the best performer in that film, or in this category actually, but she deserved it. She did a good job. Like, a good enough job for the Oscars. She wasn't one of those people I thought didn't deserve to be nominated. She deserved to be nominated. I just don't think she should have won. But like I said, I'm just going to skate over these awards. Like, well done, Regina King. Congratulations. And then following that, Free Solo and Best Documentary Feature. Again, I've not seen any of the documentary features, but Free Solo is one that everyone's talked about, so there was no surprise at that one. And then this was followed by Hair and Makeup. One of the categories that was pitched to be shown during the commercial break, which obviously led to that controversy. Thankfully, that got overturned, and Hair and Makeup was won by Vice. I think Make Queen of Scots should have won it, but seems that all you gotta do to win Oscar for Hair and Makeup is to make one actor look completely different and look exactly like a political historical figure. And then we had a double whammy for Black Panther, winning both production design and costume design. Now, costume design I don't mind at all. Like, thinking back, they had a lot of great costumes, and the Wakandan culture definitely looked beautiful. Yeah, for production design, I feel like First Man should have won that Oscar. First Man, I don't feel got enough love in the Oscars, but like I said, Black Panther won that, so that's 2 awards out there great for Black Panther. And then we went into cinematography, my favourite category, because cinematography is beautiful, and of course Roma won it. Roma, you may love it, you may hate it, you may find it boring, but it's a beautiful film to look at. Roma deservedly won cinematography, so I had no complaints there. And then we had another double whammy with sound editing and sound mixing, both going to Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, sound mixing, I thought the Live Aid scene alone earned that one. I feel like A Quiet Place should have won the sound editing. I thought it was a great film that used sound very effectively, better than a lot of films do. So I feel like A Quiet Place did get robbed on that one. Now, following that double by Bohemian Rhapsody again, another back-to-back winner there, we went into foreign language film, and to the surprise of no one, Roma won that, because that's the only foreign film that was nominated for Best Picture. Congratulations to Alfonso. He is well and truly a great director, and he directed the best Harry Potter film. Best editing next, and Bohemian Rhapsody surprisingly won that, which is a shame, because I really thought that BlacKkKlansman had earned the editing Oscar. But Bohemian Rhapsody takes the leads in the Oscars race at this time with 3 awards. And then we had the supporting actor category, which was obviously won by Mahershala Ali, though I do love that Adam Driver's best scene in BlacKkKlansman was used there, but Mahershala Ali was always going to win that. Fantastic performance in a really good film. I really don't care for the controversy around the film. I feel like it's a nice little film that's perfectly packaged and it just have a rewatchability value to it. And then we came to animated feature. Now, if Spider-Verse didn't win this, we were going to riot, but Spider-Verse did win, which is the best Spider-Man film. It's the best superhero film that came out last year, and it was hands down the best animated film. Isle of Dogs is probably my second favourite, followed by The Incredibles. Isle of Dogs was really good, but Spider-Verse, that just came out of nowhere. I didn't review it for the longest time. I didn't even review it on this channel. I literally watched it way too late, so I didn't think it would be worth reviewing it, but Spider-Verse is a fucking incredible film. You know I just dropped an obscenity there, so I apologise. But Spider-Verse, well done, you got the Oscar we deserved, and thank you for showing us all that we can all wear the mask. And following that, we had animated short, which was won by Bao, that weird dumpling Japanese short film that just stuck with us all for some reason and became a meme on the internet. This is followed by a short documentary, which was Period, Endless Silence. Seems to be all about women's menstruation. I didn't watch any of the short documentaries, but that's what won it. And there was a really empowering speech with that award as well, all about equal rights with menstruation. And that is something I can get behind, because Jesus Christ, why can't us lads get condoms for free, but women can't deal with their natural cycle for free? It's a bit ridiculous, so I'm glad that that's brought awareness to it. I might have to watch it, I might not. Who knows? I'm not really a big documentary fan, but I do love the subject that was covering. Then we get on to visual effects, and First Man actually won this one, and that was a stat category. I thought Avengers was going to win it. I wanted Ready Player One to win it because of that gaming world, but I do love how First Man did get the Oscar for it, so no complaints here. It was a stat category, and I do love it when there's an unpredictability to some of these categories. Then we come to the live action short, which was won by Skin. That's just another one of those short film awards, and yeah, Skin won that one. Now we come to the 2 screenplay awards, with original screenplay going to Green Book, which was well deserved, perfect choice. The dialogue in Green Book is just brilliant. It's a great, blunt, comedic script. I absolutely loved it. And Black Klansman won adapted screenplay. Again, that was another film I thought had a very good screenplay, so I have no complaints to these 2 winners. Both of those screenplays were brilliant, and they were both rightly given the Oscar for those respective awards. Best Score was next, and that was won by Black Panther, so that was their 3rd win of the night. Me personally, I wanted Isle of Dogs to win that one, because I really enjoyed the score for Isle of Dogs, and it really helped guide the movie through soundtrack-wise. But Black Panther, I guess I can't complain too much, because it did have a pretty badass soundtrack, though I do wish Isle of Dogs got that one. Next was Best Song, and to no one's surprise, Shallow won that. It's a fantastic song and a fantastic film. So shame this is the one award A Star Is Born won last night. That film should get a lot more love, because that's like an instant classic. And I feel like that film is going to be one of those that will be remembered for years to come. Plus, the chemistry between Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Please tell I wasn't the only one feeling that, especially when they were sat next to each other on the piano. I feel sorry for Bradley Cooper's wife, I'll say that much. But then following on from that, we get into the big awards now. We had Best Actor coming up next, and that was a tight category. Bradley Cooper was nominated, who would give his best performance ever. Christian Bale was fantastic. But as with the awards, Rami Malek has won for Bohemian Rhapsody as Freddie Mercury, and he gave a pretty damn good speech as well. So I ain't got no complaints. That was a stat category, and it's very rare that we go into an award season where an acting category, no outright favourite. There was a lot of good performances in there, and I really wish Willem Dafoe gets nominated for a film that is basically well known, because every time he gets nominated for a film I've never even heard of, yeah, he's always the one nomination from those films. Don't worry, Willem, you will get your Oscar one day, I am sure. But then following that, we got the Best Actress Award. This was won by Olivia Colman. Now, I did not get the favourites at all, but Olivia Colman's performance in that was brilliant. I had no complaints with her winning, and she probably gave the best speech of the night for me. She was so awkward and so starstruck by it, and she was like a fan on stage almost. This woman that played Doris in Hot Fuzz has now become the Queen and won an Oscar, and she's on stage like starstruck. It's brilliant to watch. I loved her award speech, definitely. And then get into the final 2. Alfonso Cuarón has won the Best Director Oscar, which was to no one's surprise, and he gave a good speech as well. His Gracias Mexico, like that was... He gave the most emotional speech. Roma was a passion project for Alfonso, and he well and truly deserved the Oscar for Best Director there. So obviously we're going to Best Picture thinking that Roma's going to win. The 2 favourites going into this were The Favourite and Roma. Roma I thought was really good. The Favourite I didn't really get, but everyone thought it was going to be those 2 that were in the running. But it turns out the outside favourite, the one film I wanted to win if it wasn't going to be A Star Is Born, and it was never going to be A Star Is Born, was it? The one I wanted to win above that was Green Book, and that won. Green Book won. Despite the controversies around it, it won Best Picture, and I am so happy for that film. That is one of the other films that I wish I want to watch a lot sooner. I only just reviewed it recently, but Green Book was brilliant. I love the script, I love the dialogue, I love the friendship, I love the story it's trying to tell. It was just really good, and overall, the Oscars I thought was actually a very interesting show. Being in the UK, I'm usually struggling to stay awake because of how much it drags, but this one did not feel like it dragged at all. And it was a lot of fun to be live tweeting along with the show as well. Guys, this Oscars was an interesting one. There was no host and it flowed a lot better, and the Queen performance was great, and we had a few good surprises in this awards show as well. In terms of an Oscar ceremony, I think it was one of the better ones. Obviously, people are going to complain that their favourites didn't win. If I had my way, I'd have A Star Is Born win 4 Oscars, but I don't pick the Oscars. And I look forward to discussing everything in a lot more detail in my next podcast, which should be coming out in a few days. I'm just looking out for a guest. But for the time being, guys, what did you think of the Oscars? Did any of these awards surprise you? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, feel free to drop a like. And if you like what I do on this channel as well, feel free to hit that subscribe button and watch any of my other videos over here. And guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. My next review will probably be on the basis of sex. That will be coming in the next couple of days. But until then, guys, this is that Spikehead Podcast, signing off.